So what are the topics we completed? So Linux completed something
BC
like what we discussed in the earlier. So we will discuss AWS, Linux, AWS plus DevOps, right? So Linux is completed and AWS, some of the part is completed. DevOps. So what are the DevOps tools completed, guys?
and
uh, Ansible and
Terraform.
Terraform.
Ansible, Terraform, Git,
Kubernetes.
Docker,
What?
Jenkins, Kubernetes.
Docker with Kubernetes, Jenkins. Two projects, right? So these three are the combinations. So we will discuss these three at one time. Okay. So we'll start Docker. Yeah. So Docker, Kubernetes plus Jenkins. So prerequisites, basics of a Linux course content something like part 1 Docker. So part 2 Kubernetes, part 3 Jenkins. We will discuss, guys. Okay. So now we are discussing about the, what is this, guys?
Version control system.
Yeah, Git. What we are discussing? So we are discussing about the Git, guys. So before Git, before Git, so what we are discussing? We are discussing about the Git, right? Git. What is a Git, guys? Git is a,
Version control.
yeah, version control, right?
Yeah.
So version control or,
Source code management.
yes, what is that?
Source code management.
Yeah. So we are discussing about the source code management tool. So what is that, guys? Source code management tool. So what is source code management tool? So why we are using this tool in the DevOps? Guys, tell me. Source code management a tool. So what are the source code management tools, guys? So source code management tools is for to keep the code in one place is nothing but a source code management tool. So is nothing or something like is nothing but a repository. To keep the code in one place is nothing but a repository. So what are the repositories, guys? So the repository is nothing but a source code. So source code management. So whatever the developers develop that code, right? That code will be managed under the source code management tool. So what are the tools are available for the source code? So we have a two tools are available. CVCS. What is this, guys? CVCS and DVCS. What are the, guys? CVCS and DVCS. So what are the CVCS and what is the DVCS, guys? CVCS is nothing but a centralized version control system, and DVCS is nothing but a distributed version control control system. So what is centralized version control system? What is a distributed version control system? For example, centralized version control system example is SVN. SVN is nothing but a subversion. So DVS example is Git. Git is the DVS examples. What is the difference between CVCS and DVCS, guys? What is the difference between CVCS and DVCS? So this is the CVCS and this is the DVCS. What this is, guys? CVCS and this is a DVCS, distributed distributed version control system. So distributed version control system. So example is, what is the example, guys? Example is SVN. So SVN and Git. So nowadays, which source code management? Okay. So SVN and Git. So CVS is nothing but a subversion subversion control system, and the DVS is nothing but a distributed version control system. So what is the a difference between CVCS and DVCS, and why Git is popular? Why Git is popular? So why Git is popular? So something like earlier we are using the SVN subversion control system for example, this is the repository, guys. For example, so this is the repository. So developers are develop the code in their missions and push it to the repository. Push it to the SVN repository. Push it to the SVN repository. Something like their local missions. These are their laptops. So in their laptops, from their laptops to, they are pushing the code to the repository. They are pushing the code to the repository. So this is a centralized server. So this is a centralized server. So they are pushing the code to the this repository. This repository here. Yeah. So here, so there is here the centralized repository, right? So code will be there in the only centralized repository. If something goes wrong on something goes wrong on this centralized repository, the data will be losing. The data will be losing. So that's the reason. So that's the reason they are created a new version control system called as a distributed version control system. Distributed version control system. Yeah, guys. Source code management, the management of the changes of the documents, computer programs, and large website and other collection of information. So what is this, guys? Centralized version control system, distributed version control system. So what is the drawbacks in the centralized version control system? Why distributed version control system is popular? The same way, guys. So Ansible, right? Why Ansible is popular? Why Ansible is popular? Why Puppet and Chef is not popular? Because of a agentless. Ansible is the agentless communication configuration management tool. That Puppet and Chef are the agent based. So definitely in the target system, we need to install the agent and they need to communicate with the server and the agent. That is the drawback. But in the Ansible, there is no agentless. There is no agent need to be installed on the target servers. The same way, so before Git, they are using the developers are using the centralized version control system SVN. So what is the drawbacks? So that server, this is the repository. For example, this is the repository. This is the working copy of the working something like a developer's PCs. So the only commit and update, commit and update, commit and update. So from their mission to the server, their mission to the server. If something goes wrong on the centralized repository, everything, the code will gone, right? The code will gone. So that's the reason this is the drawback of the centralized version control system. So then, innovative thought comes into the picture, and they developed the Git. Git is a distributed version control system. Git is a distributed version control system. So here there is a local repository. There is a local repository. So in the working station, this is the working station. This is our laptops. So in our laptop, there is a local repository. Local repository is there. So we are pushing, we are commit and update the code to the local repository. From local repository, we will push it to the remote repository. We will push it to the remote repository. So we have a two copies. One is in the remote repository and the local repository. There is a two repositories. If something goes wrong on the remote repository, there is a copy in the local repository. There is a copy in the local repository. So that's the reason distributed version control system is popular. So that is the reason the distributed version control system is popular. Guys, understood? Guys, understood or not? Yes, right? Yeah, you see, so this is a distributed version control system, and this is the this is the this is the centralized version control system. The drawbacks are, so we have a local repository. So this is the local, this is a local repository. This is a remote repository. This is a remote repository. So what are the remote repositories, guys? So what are the remote repositories? Who will provide the remote repositories? GitLab, Bitbucket, Bitbucket, and GitHub. So GitHub, these are the remote repositories. So what are the remote repositories, guys? So these are the remote repositories. So who created the distribution version control system? So what is the distributed version control system example, guys? So what is that? Git. Git is the distributed version control system. What is this, guys? Git. So Git is the distributed version control system. So the centralized version control system is, what is example, guys? Example is SVN. SVN. So this is the laptop, right? Only one. If something goes wrong on the remote repository, so there is no local copy. It is difficult to figure out. So Git, who developed the Git, guys? Who developed the Linux? Guys, who developed Linux?
Linux Torvald. Yes, Torvald.
Yes, very good. Linus Torvald. Who developed the Git, guys? Linus Torvald. So Linus Torvald developed the Git. Who developed the Linux? The same guy developed the Git also. Linus Torvald. So Linus Torvald developed the Git guide. So who developed the Git? So developed the Git and released as a open source. The same way, so Linux released as a open source, like Git also released as a CLI, and it's a open source. So open source, right? Open source. So took that took that code CLI, Git CLI. So took that code, took the Git code and created, and some of the companies are created their own GUI tools, their own GUI tools, the same like these took the code and created their own GUI tools. What are those guys? GUI tools. So what are the GUI tools? GitLab, Bitbucket. These all are the GUI tools. These all are the GUI tools. So who developed the Bitbucket? Who developed the GitHub, guys? Before some other. Now it is Microsoft. Now it is a Microsoft. Who developed the Bitbucket? Atlassian. At Atlassian company developed the Bitbucket. GitHub, some other company. Some other company developed the GitLab. Guys, now you understood? So open source, right? Took that open source code. So the companies are took that code and created their own type of Git GUI tools. Git GUI tools. These are the remote repositories. So where we are copying our code, guys. So where we are copying our code, we are copying. So where we are copying our code. So where we are copying our code, guys. So copying it to remote repositories. Copying it to remote repositories. Where we are copying our code, guys. We are copying it to the remote repositories. What are the remote repositories, guys? If we copy Bitbucket, or GitLab or GitHub, you can copy. So anywhere, guys. Azure created Azure repo, AWS created Azure AWS repository. So and there are number of remote repositories are there. So what we will discuss? We will discuss about the GitLab, GitHub, and Bitbucket, guys. We will discuss about the GitLab, Bitbucket, and GitHub accounts. Guys, now you understood? Yes, right? Yeah. So we need to install the. So how to download and install the Git on your machine guys. So you can download it and you can install on your machine. You can install on your machine. Guys, understood? Git. So GitHub. This is my GitHub remote repository, and these are the. So you see, guys, this is a github.com. Hare Krishna Cheruku 866 is my GitHub. This is my GitHub account. So I signed up my account and I sign in my account. So I have 376029. Verify. Three 71029. Yes, guys. You see, so this is my GitHub repository. So this is my GitHub account, Bitbucket. What is that, guys? Bitbucket. So this is the Bitbucket. Who developed, guys? Atlassian. Atlassian company developed the Bitbucket. I think I have access. Let me check. Yeah, this is my Bitbucket Git repository. So this is my Bitbucket Git repository, GitLab. So this is my this is my GitHub account. This is github.com. This is bitbucket.com. This is gitlab.com. You guys understood? So these are the three accounts. You guys are also create your own. You guys also can create your own account on the Bitbucket, GitHub, and GitLab, guys. You guys can create your own accounts. So own accounts on the GitLab, Bitbucket, GitHub. Guys understood? Yeah. Yeah. So how we can download? First, we need to check the control panel, programs and removes, programs and features. Git. Yeah, Git is installed on my machine. I'm uninstalling the Git. Okay. You guys are already installed the Microsoft Visual Studio Code, right? So we need this Microsoft Visual Code for writing the code or for pushing the code. Git download. What is that, guys? Git download official website gitscm.com. Go to the downloads. So there will be a three files. So which are related to platform. So Mac OS, if you use Mac OS, Windows OS, Linux OS, I'm using for the Linux. So for 60-bit Windows setup, you can download for the 64-bit Windows setup. So go to the downloads and double click it. It will automatically start. Yes. Next. Next. Would you like to install that folder anyway? Yes. Next. 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 So it will be installing the Git, guys. It will install the Git. You see, guys, before 5/6/2024. So this is the sixth date, guys. So the Git is the version is 2.45.0. So you see the 5/22, the version released as a 45.1. This is 45.0, right? Yeah. So Git is installed. So Git is installed in your local machine. Then you can for communicating purpose, for Git communication purpose, use the Git bash, guys. You already knows, right? The Terraform, while Terraform, we already installed the Git bash also, right? Git is installed on our machine. Git hyphen version. Yeah, Git is installed on this mission and the version is 2.4.1 das window. I already told you, right, guys? So this is the Windows mission. So if you want to execute the commands, Linux commands on the Windows mission, definitely we need a Git bash. Bash is nothing but a born again shell. This is also a type of putty shell. So if you want to execute the Linux commands on the Windows mission, we need a Git bash. Need a Git bash, guys. As understood? Yeah. So we installed and downloaded and installed the Git and Git and Git bash. Yeah. So we need to create the GitLab, Bitbucket, GitHub accounts. Yeah. So for pushing our local code into the remote repositories. So these all are the our remote repositories. These all are the local repositories. This is the a remote repository. So what you can do is, guys, you can you can copy the code. You can copy the code and push and pull the code, guys. Push is nothing but a uh to send the code to the repository. Pull is nothing but a to download the code. So pull and push to the your local repository. This is your working copy. So So this is your working copy. Git doesn't know your working copy. Once you commit and update, once you add, update, commit, so then only the local repository will know us. Oh, this is the Git file. This is a Git file. This is a Git file. How Git knows? So if you push something like if you commit and update the code from your local mission to your mission to a local repository, then only it will know, then only it will know. Guys, understood? Guys, speak out.
Yes, bro.
Yes, right? Yeah. So next, guys, so the remote repository, so this is our remote repository. What you guys can do, you guys can sign up both these three accounts, guys. Okay, you can sign up these three accounts. Okay.
Okay, bro. We can use previous GitLab also, right? Already have GitLab.
You can
Yes.
use it. Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
So sign up the GitLab, GitHub and the Bitbucket accounts. Okay.
Okay.
Sign up accounts on. So something like a remote repositories. These all are the remote repositories. This is the task, guys. Sign up the guys understood? Sign up the GitLab, GitHub, and Bitbucket accounts. What these are, guys?
Remote repositories.
Very good. These all are the remote.
Repository.
Our code will be keep it in the in this
in the repository, remote repository.
these repositories. So developer develop that code, right? So not only a developer, everyone everyone can keep, not only a developer, not only a developer, everyone can use this remote repositories, remote repositories for keep data, keep data for keeping the keep the data. So you are right. So how you are using, how you are using these repositories, guys? For example, a DevOps engineer. Guys, tell me. So how DevOps engineer uses these repositories? Guys, tell me. Guys, so we are also using the repositories. i have a I have a 4 repositories, guys. I have a 5 repositories. One is Ansible repository, another one is Terraform, Docker, Kubernetes, Jenkins. So for example, so in our team, DevOps team, we are working on the, yeah, so this is the remote repository, guys. So what this is, for example, Terraform main. So what is my repository name, guys? So what is my remote repository name? So my remote repository name is, guys, speak out, remote repository name is Terraform main. My remote repository main is Terraform main, and I created, for example, GitLab. For example, GitLab. So in our company, we are using the GitLab is the remote repository. What is the, so GitLab is the remote repository. In GitLab, I have a repository name, call it as a main, Terraform main. So what is the repository name, guys? Terraform
Terraform
main.
main.
So in the Terraform main, we have already code. We have a code in the Terraform main, guys. What is that code? So Terraform, I already told you, right? The stacks, right? The stacks. What are the stacks names? For example, dev stack, dev stack, dev stack, QA stack, prod stack. So we have a 3 stacks in the Terraform main, guys. So we have a 3 stacks is nothing but a 3 directories or a folders in my Terraform main. So the Terraform dev stack contains the main variables. What is that, guys? My stack contains the main.tf, variable.tf, versions.tf, providers.tf, for example. So this is my remote repository. In my repository having the already code. I have already code in my remote repository. So remote repository. I want these repositories. I want this Terraform main repository on, for example. So these are the three people. Three people are working in the DevOps, guys. So what are those? These three people are working in the DevOps. Guys, this is real time. Guys, please be careful. Be concentrate. Please concentrate. So this is my local mission. This is my mission. So I want to get the code from remote repository to my mission. Remote repository to my mission. How we can get it, guys?
We can pull the code from the remote repository.
Yeah, first time. The first time it will be a so first time if you want to pull the data, if you want to get the data from remote repository to a local repository, so remote repository to your mission. So what is the command, guys? Git clone. What is the command, guys?
Git clone.
Git clone command for the first time. For first time to download the repository. Download the repository to your mission. The first time, what is the command, guys? Git clone. What is the command, guys? Tell me. What is the command?
Git clone.
Git clone. Yeah. So I get the data from. So now I am now in my local mission. We have a Terraform main. So what is that, guys? So we have a Terraform main in my local missions. Guys, understood everyone?
Yes, bro.
Yes, right? Yeah. So git clone is the command. Git clone is the command to get the new repository to your local mission. Yeah. So after getting this code, I want to modify a main.tf. I want to modify the main.tf. Yes. I have modified the data. I have modified the main. So for example, this is Hari. So this is Rafi. This is Funny. These are the three guys. First time I download the code. Yes. So whatever the remote repository, whatever the code is in the remote repository, it is in my local mission. It is in my local mission. So this is the a local Git repository. What this is, guys? So this is a local Git repository. The local Git repository, everyone having their own local Git repository. I have modified the code. I have modified the main.tf. I have modified the main.tf. So the main whatever you are modifying, right? That code is not available in the Terraform main in the remote repository because of you modified only in your local. You modified only in your local. I want to push this modified code to the remote repository. How we can do it? For
By
getting from
using the
remote to local, you can use the git clone for the first time, right guys?
yeah.
I want to push the code from local to remote.
Remote. We use git push.
Git push.
Yes, guys. So this is, for example, this is our main branch. You guys can remember, this is the main. This is a local. This is a local. This is our main branch, right? You want to push the code from your local to remote, local to main. What is the command, guys? Git
Push.
git push, guys. So as of now, only two commands. What are the two commands?
Git
Git
clone, git push.
clone, git push. So what is the use of git clone, guys?
To copy all the
For the first time, if you want to download, or if you want to download your repository, you can use the git clone and the repository name. Repository URL. Git push. You want to push the code from local to main. Local to main. Yes. Now the modified code is in our in our main
main file.
repository, in our master or main repository. That modified code is available in the remote repository, but not in the other others local repository. How we can download that? How we can download the modified code into your local machine? What is the command, guys? The command is git
Pull.
pull. What is the command, guys? Git pull.
Pull.
So now you understood. For example, this guy also modified some code and pushed it to the main. Yeah, something like Hari wants to download that modified code into your local machine. What is the command, guys? Git pull. Guys, now I understood. So for the first time downloading the code from main repository to local repository, git clone is the command. The from next onwards, so from next onwards, you can use the git pull command to download the code from your main repository to local repository. First time we can use the git clone. From next onwards, we can use the git pull command to download the code from remote
Remote.
repository to local repository. What is a git push, guys? Git push is the command to push the code from your local machine to remote
Remote.
repository. Remote repository. Guys, understood?
Yes, bro.
Yeah. So what as of now, what are the commands, guys?
Git clone, git push, git pull.
Yeah. Guys, everyone can speak out. Vinay, Lavanya, Funny.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What are the commands you learn as of now?
GitLab, git push, git pull.
GitLab.
Git clone, sir.
Git clone, git push,
Git clone, git
git
push,
push, git pull.
git pull. Guys, understood?
Yes.
Yes, bro.
Yeah. This branch, remote branch, is either main branch or a master branch. What this is, guys?
Master branch.
Main branch or master branch.
Main branch or a master branch. This is, guys, code. code in the, this is the repositories, these are the branches. So branches is master branch. So this is the master branch. The branch is in the master branch. So branches, what are the branches we have? So we have the branches, master and post. A repository. What is the repository? Repository, call it as a CI Jekyll. CI Jekyll. So this is the repository name. This is the branch. So this is the branch. So you are downloading from, you are download to local machine. So what is the command, guys? Git
Pull.
first time. For first time, if you want to download from master, your remote to master, so something like a code clone, code a clone from Git. You can take the HTTPS, guys. Let's check. What is the command, guys? Git clone. It will download your Git repository. This is the Git repository. For first time, you can use the which command, guys? Git clone command. So now you got the Terraform, something like a CI Jekyll in the this repository. CI Jekyll in the this repository. So if you want to push the code, whatever you updated, right? If you want to push the code, git push. From next time onwards, you can use the git pull to download the code from main to remote to local. Guys, understood?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. So git push is nothing but a to push the code from local to remote. So local to remote repository. Guys, understood?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. So for the first time, you can use the git clone. From next onwards, you can use the git pull command. So the first time you can use the git clone. After that, you can use the git pull. Git push is nothing but a push the code from your local to remote. Git pull is nothing but a to download the code from the remote to local. Push to download. Push to pull. So for the first time, you can use the clone. Git clone. Guys, understood?
Yeah, yeah.
Now you got the clarity, right? Git.
Yeah,
Git is a version control system or a source code management tool. Guys, understood?
yeah.
Okay, guys. We'll continue from tomorrow. This is the main or master. This is the repository. In this repository, the branches are main or master. The code, real-time code will be there in the Terraform main. For example, guys, I'm creating the repository name is Terraform main, but some other companies some other companies their own repository names. Okay. Yeah, guys. So we'll continue from tomorrow, guys. So tomorrow mostly we will show you how to push pull the command lines. So we need to tell another commands, guys. So we'll discuss later tomorrow, right? The commands are git add, git commit,
Commit.
Git
branch.
status, Git branch. We'll show you tomorrow, guys. No worries, no worries. So slowly we will habituate to you guys. Okay. So
Okay.
Git is easy or not, guys?
Visibilities.
Easy, right? Not Rafi, the people, the other people. Funny. Vinay, do you know, right, already?
Yeah, it's already I have worked on this, right?
Hmm. Did you understand that
Yeah, yeah,
better?
yeah.
Yeah. Lavanya, what about you?
I think she is not in the class.
Not in the
She
class.
left from
Left.
she left
Okay.
10 minutes before.
Funny.
Sir,
అర్థమైందా?
అర్థమైంది సార్.
Okay, guys. Okay. Howku funny.
అర్థమైంది సార్.
Okay, guys. Guys, please practice. I will upload the recording within an hour, guys. Okay.
Okay.